Are you looking to give your puppy the best start possible? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk to Instructor Steve and his adorable puppy named Final about the puppy training first steps that you need to do with your puppy. I'm Ken Steep.
I'm Steve Walsh.
And welcome back to McCann Dogs.
Some of the things that are really my go-tos when I get a new puppy are some things that oftentimes we kind of take for granted as dog trainers, and it's worth pointing out some of the great things that you can do right off the bat with your puppy to set the right stage for it. We talk about using the word yes as the marker that says that dogs have done something completely correctly, and I'm not necessarily going to say yes right now because little Final's have a little tug on his leash, but it is something that I will definitely let my dogs know is the marker word, it's the right word. Now, how do we do that? Well, we know dogs learn within a second, so if I can say yes and then deliver a treat within a second and repeat that process hundreds of times, my dogs start to have a little bit of value for the word yes. Now, I'm not expecting any behavior. I just want them to know that yes means good things happening. So here's what I'm going to do with him. You can see he's a little distracted. He's been kind of hanging out, so I need to do a little bit of stuff with him. I'm going to get a little food, and I'm going to put it right on his nose. I'm not going to ask for anything other than just be somewhat pointed in my direction. I'm simply going to say yes, and then 1 second later give him a treat. Yes. 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 And you can see as I do that over and over and over, first of all, he starts to pay a little bit more attention to me. Yes. But he also starts to learn that good things happen when he hears the word yes. Good. Now, you've done this a bunch. I don't know if you noticed that there. He was looking over there. I said yes, and his head actually came back to me. If you spend time doing this right off the bat, it can really be an attention getter. Now, I don't want that to be the attention getter, but it has them understanding. It shows me that he's understanding that yes means he's doing really well, or that yes means good things are coming. Now, the other part of this is you'll notice he's trying to get the treat out of my hand, but he's not biting me, okay? Sometimes the dogs get a little bit frustrated and they'll get a little overzealous with their teeth. If he is a little overzealous with his teeth, I'm not going to say take it nice or take it gentle or anything like that. I don't want to put a code word in. I would simply pull the food away and offer it to him again. Yes, good boy. And as long as he's respectful at taking it, let's say he gently nibbles or gently licks at it, then he gets the treat. So we can really teach both bite inhibition and loading the word yes at the same time. So again, yes. 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 Good boy. One of the first steps in puppy training is teaching my dog that running to me is a really, really fun thing. And with the help of a friend or a family member who can restrain your dog, you can use some food or a toy to really build some drive. And with a good loud call of their name, they learn that running to you as fast as they can is fun and engaging. And not only does it teach them the basis of a solid recall, it also lets them burn off some energy at the same time. Now, some of my other puppy training first steps are to also expose my puppy to as many different surfaces and things in life. When you're out in the real world, we don't realize how many different things that your dogs see. Some of you that get puppies in the wintertime, come springtime, your dogs have never seen grass. So having them experience different footings and things that move under them or just strange things that come up with life is a really, really good thing. So I find all sorts of different things. I've sort of set up a little line of things that Final hasn't really seen, and I'm just going to use some food to lure them or to lure him over them. Now, part of this is also for him to experience that, but part of that is also to help build his confidence. If he was worried about any one of these, my direction and encouraging him through and letting him sort of source these out by himself and experience them by himself with my support will really help him get a little more confident in this situation. So here's what I'm going to do. Again, I got a little food in his nose, and I'm just going to encourage him to move with me. And every time he does, I can yes and reward on those new areas. Yes, good job, good. And I'm just putting some food right on his nose. Yes, good job. Little plastic wires, a little wobble board. Yes, good boy. Excellent. Maybe up onto a plank. Yes, good boy. Excellent job. And then even onto some rubber flooring. Good job. All of these things are things that they may experience as they grow up and see different things in the world. One of the other first steps in puppy training is also getting your dog accustomed to being lured in different positions. They're going to sit, they're going to lie down, they're going to do all sorts of things over the course of their lives. So getting them used to moving those positions can really start them off on the right foot. So, sit is obviously the easy one to go to. Now, when I do that, I'm not giving any command at all. I'm simply using the food, and I'm just tipping up his nose towards his butt. And now that I've spent the time to load the word yes, I can say yes and then give him that treat. and then yes, and give him the treat. And then I might lure him into a down position. Now you notice the food stays right on his nose. My hand comes down. The moment he's down, I yes and reward. Yes and reward. And same thing with the stand. I can take that food, move it forward from him at his head height, yes and reward in that stand position. And then I can mix up the positions as well. I can go from a stand, yes, good, down. Again, yes and rewarding the position, yes, good job, good sit. Yes, good boy. So he thought about going into that down, but I kept my hand at his head height, and he went right into that stand position. Great way to get them accustomed to their body. Now, one of the other things that I spend a whole lot of time doing is handling my puppy, and that literally means having my hands on them. You know, we talked about this with the nipping and biting. When I scoop him up into my side like this, he calms right down. And from the time I brought him out of the crate the first time I saw him, when he was in my arms, I not only expected him to settle a little bit, but I put my hands all over him without even him realizing it. So I don't sort of set out to handle him, but I'm constantly touching him, all of his different parts, you know, his paws, his ears, all of those things, even down to his tail. And, you know, he's a little wiggly right now, but he's kind of going with it. Good job, good boy. I can pick up his tail, I can, you know, rub my hand under his belly. And that's something that's important that they get used to. You know, through your dog's life, there are times at which they're going to have to be hands on them. And the more comfortable they are with that situation, whether it be your hands or the vet's hands or somebody who happens to be coming in and taking care of them, the easier it is for them and for you. Now, he's pretty good with it. He sort of says, okay, and I've already trimmed his nails and done a bunch of other stuff with him to get him used to it. Hey, stop. Good. He took a little nibble at me there, so I just addressed it right in the moment. But one of the things that I can start to do is build a really good positive association with hands on him. Now, of course, food is a great motivator for a lot of things, for a lot of dogs, and that's a great way to sort of get some success. So here's what I would suggest you do. And if you have somebody else in the house that can help you with this with an extra set of hands, that does make life a little bit easier. But what I would do is literally take some food, put it right on his nose. Now, we've already spent some time loading the word yes, and he knows what yes means, and he's interested in following my food. But what I'm going to do is now pair that yes with having some hands on him. So he's chewing on these treats. I'm going to put one hand down and just slide it down his back onto his rear end. Yes and reward. Good job. Now I'm going to just pick him up here so we can see him a little bit better. Hi, buddy. Come up. Here you go. A little food back to his nose. Now this time I might slide that hand down to his tail. Yes and reward. Good job. Now you notice I'm not holding it for long. I'm not grabbing onto it. I'm simply getting him used to the sensation of my hands on his tail. Come on over here, bud, so we can see you. So let's say I take a hold of his paw. Yes and reward. Good job. Maybe I slide a hand onto an ear. Yes and reward. And really he's basically unaware of the handling because the food is doing the work. But in these initial stages, it's important that they build that positive association with their hands, with our hands on them. Now, this is not petting. This is not giving him a little loving massage. This is really being a little bit more clinical in my handling. So let's say I did need to clean his ears out, or when you do need to trim your dog's toenails, all those things are things that are going to need, hey, stop. All those things are things that are going to need to happen. So the more we build a positive association with it now, the easier it is as they grow up. Even though I'm around this puppy quite a bit, there are times at which I need to do other things and I want to make sure he's safe and comfortable. So I feed him in his crate. I throw kibble in his crate for him. Make a great game out of having him chase a toy in there. Really let him know that it's a positive association for spending time in his crate when I can't be around there with him. Now, if you're looking for more information about how to crate train your dog, click that card somewhere here. It's a link to a video that talks about just that very thing. And the seventh and most important first step in training your puppy is teaching them to cuddle. They're a fuzzy little thing that you want to hug, and you need them to be comfortable in your arms. And I can tell you there are times at which that will be very important when you're, let's say, carrying them over a rock or something like that, that comes up in life. So it's important that you take time to get them comfortable in your arms, hi buddy, and so you can enjoy that life with that brand new puppy you have.
Now I'm going to add a bonus tip for puppy training, something that you need to do with every puppy, and that's potty training. And if you'd like to check out our potty training playlist, click that card right there. On that note, I'm Ken.
I'm Steve.
Happy training. Bye for now.